What happens when a woman who has been hunted, tortured, and violated stands up not defeated but more powerful than the system that tried to break her? What happens when shame turns into strength and silence becomes a weapon? Today, we explore one of the most powerful and unsettling stories in modern Indian literature, Draupadi by Mahasweta Devi. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, this channel helps degree level learners understand literature easily with meaning, context, and exam ready analysis. And today's text from our additional English syllabus is a story that doesn't just ask us to read, it forces us to feel, question, and reflect. Draupadi, written by the celebrated writer and human rights activist Mahasweta Devi, is not just storytelling. It is a protest, history, and truth. Mahasweta Devi spent her life working with tribal communities and fighting against social injustice. So, her writing is not imagination, it is rooted in real struggles. The title of the story is Draupadi, referring to the mythological Draupadi from the Mahabharata, the woman who was humiliated in the royal court but protected by divine power. But the protagonist in this story is not called Draupadi. In her life, her actual name is Dopti Mejhen. Mahasweta Devi does this deliberately. She gives the story name Draupadi to remind us of the epic figure but replaces the royal epic protected woman with a poor tribal unprotected woman. In the Mahabharata, Draupadi has husbands, kings, and dharma on her side. Krishna protects her. But in Mahasweta Devi's story, Dopti is a tribal woman from the Santal community. She is hunted as a criminal. There is no God, no savior, no miracle. She must defend herself. This contrast is one of the most important points in your exam. The story is set during the period of the Naxalite movement in the late 1960s and early 1970s. This was a time when landless laborers, peasants, and tribal communities rebelled against landlords and the state. To the government, these rebels were criminals. To the oppressed people, they were freedom fighters. The government used police and military force to suppress them. This is where Dopti's story unfolds. Dopti Mehjan and her husband Dulna Majhi become rebels in this movement. They attack powerful landlords and government forces who exploit their people. Because of this, both are marked as dangerous. Dulna is eventually killed and Dopti continues the resistance. Soon she becomes one of the most wanted rebels. The army hunts her down and finally arrests her. Once captured, she is not treated like a citizen or even a human being. She is interrogated, she is beaten, she is stripped. The officers think stripping her will take away her dignity. But this moment becomes the turning point of the story. After being violated, she is ordered to dress and report to the commanding officer. Instead of obeying, Dopti walks towards the men naked, bruised, bleeding, and fearless. The officer who thought he controlled her cannot look at her. In a voice filled with courage, she challenges him, not with weapons but with presence. Her final act turns shame into defiance. Power reverses. The oppressed becomes the one in control. The body, the clothes, and nakedness. In many cultures, a woman's body is seen as something to control or shame. In this story, the body becomes a battlefield, a symbol of resistance, a statement of identity. The act of stripping, which is meant to humiliate her, becomes the moment she reclaims power. Her nakedness is not vulnerability, it becomes her declaration. You have taken everything, yet I am not broken. Dopti Mejhen symbolizes tribal resistance, courage, and the voice of the marginalized community. She is uneducated, poor, and socially invisible but emotionally unbreakable. She transforms from a hunted rebel into a fearless symbol of protest. Her journey is not just physical, it is psychological and political. Now, students, let us look at the themes which are relevant for your exam. Here are the major themes you must remember. First, state violence. The story shows how power suppresses marginalized communities. Second, oppression of tribal communities. The Santals are treated as criminals rather than citizens. Third, feminism and women's resistance. Dopti's refusal to be ashamed challenges patriarchal power. Fourth, body politics. The body becomes a tool of punishment and later a weapon of defiance. Fifth, rewriting myth. Unlike mythological Draupadi, Dopti does not wait for a savior, she saves herself. Mahasweta Devi's writing style is direct, harsh, realistic, without romantic language, brutally truthful. The simplicity makes the brutality louder. The story carries a powerful message. Sometimes resistance is not shouting or fighting. Sometimes resistance is refusing to feel shame for something done to you. Draupadi teaches us the system can injure the body but cannot conquer a fearless spirit. Draupadi is not a comfortable story. It is meant to disturb us because it exposes injustice we often ignore. It forces us to question who decides justice, who is seen as human and who is not. Why are some bodies protected and others sacrificed? This is why the story remains relevant even today. Now, tell me in the comments, do you think Draupadi's final act is victory, tragedy, or rebellion? Your opinions matter. Like, share and subscribe. If this helped you to understand the story, like the video, share it with your classmates, subscribe for more literature breakdowns, save the video for revision. Thank you for watching. Remember, literature is not only what we read. Sometimes it is what refuses to stay silent. See you in the next lesson.